would not like to take much of your time. But most of the speakers today I have listened, has spoken a lot about indigeneity, about indigenous, and about issues of, land and all. So I just wanted to, would be concentrating on these 3 points, and along with that, would pause few more or one or two more questions. As far as the land is concerned, we need to find out our borders that has been given by a principle called Udi Possidentis Juris, means the colonial who has actually came and conquered us, the British, and when they have withdrawn, the land that given to you, it is your boundary. That is the international principle based on what we have today, our territories. Now, within that territories, we have within us the boundary issues within states. And in the boundaries, we have, problems with our brother states as NEIF, NEIPF has taken steps to discuss issues why it happens. Because in border areas, illegal immigrants used to settle and they used to misrepresent that they are from this state or they are from another state. And this is one of the reason for the, for the border disputes between the sister states. We need to address that. Along with this, there are certain other treaties because of which the people from Northeast have faced the demographic, threats. Because we do have a character, we do not go out, we do not, provoke it as much as others do. We like to stick to a place, isolated, small family. We accordingly, we live and let us live. That was actually our attitude as a whole, as far as the Northeast is concerned, all communities. But what happens is that when others they came, they used to come with an intention. And that intention we do not understand that. And because of this, which we have is land issues till now. Honorable Speaker of Nagaland has spoken a lot about indigenous issues, indigeneity, as well as, whether a 2047 would be able to take up that particular issue, that whether these organizations or institutions who are there would be able to, address this particular situation. Now, let me tell you, when we talked about on International Day about midwifery, the knowledge of midwifery, still exists at, at, at everybody's house. We have been born, with the help of their knowledge. These knowledge, these are traditional knowledge. These traditional knowledges are what people now, the companies, they wanted to take note of this and wanted to have a pattern on this. Despite of having their medical, degrees, whatever it is, they intend to take it. Why? Because the indigenous knowledge is supreme. Keep it in your mind. The technology that has been developed so far, please, I always request everybody to go through a book of Jared Diamond, of Germs, Guns, and Steel. If you read that particular book, you will understand every technology that has developed in this world is because of the indigenous people. It hasn't come from outside. It is from the indigenous people. We actually do not know how to recognize this. In a village in Meghalaya, people are addressed using a particular tune. They actually have categorized a different tune by which a name, person, when it was born, then his name, he has been addressed by a particular tune. Now we do not have patented this particular, knowledge of us. When we do not have that particular patent, then what happened? The companies used to patent it. The MNCs used to they patent it. And they didn't sell it to us. Many of us today are wearing these, shawls and all, we are calling us as indigenous. If any one of you are using a symbol of an MNC without taking their permission, you have to pay, right? Everybody, you cannot take, the symbol of Microsoft, you cannot take the symbol of Reliance, you cannot take the symbol of any MNC in this one. And if you do so, there will be punitive actions. That means there will be punitive punishments. Now let me ask, whenever there are cultural programs are there, when we have our festivals, they used to, the multinational companies, they used to use our symbols without our permissions. Do they pay for this? In Assam, whenever the Bihu comes, the symbols of Bihu, all right, they used to, portray in the advertisement. Then in the, their all the malls, and then they attract us. And we go and we buy and we pay. But can we do the same thing? Can we use their logos on our own? No, we cannot. So if we cannot, why can you? You have to pay to the community for using our cultural logos. We haven't asked for so far. So far we haven't asked for. So the indigenous symbols, I believe we have to ask for our rights. We do not know about our rights. We only used to say a lot. We only used to ask for, our political rights, but we do not ask for these community rights so far. I believe the leaders, they should concentrate on this particular line as far as our community rights are concerned. Now I'd like to come to the indigeneity. Who are indigenous? Now how do you identify? I am wearing this particular, have been given to us. Does that mean I am indigenous? Or if a person, an indigenous person wearing, using a jeans pant and all, then high definition is mobile phone moving around, would he be indigenous? Or would he not be indigenous? So indigeneity does not come along with the mobile, along with the, knowledge and all. Along with that, you have to stay in your jungle. No. Indigeneity comes, how you live your life, your cultural identity, your social identity, your geographical identity, all that counts to become an indigenous person. Now, under the Constitution of India, tribes are, recognized, constitutionally given rights. Then single tribes are given constitutional rights, all right. But they haven't given the indigenous their indigenous rights. Why? Why? Because if you say I am indigenous, if we're giving you that indigenous identity, what happened? Instead of the welfare mechanisms, you may ask for your political rights, and which they refuse to give. And this is the only reason why the indigenous identity so far has not been given, the status has not been given by the Constitution. And to conclude, as far as the indigeneity is concerned, about the indigenous, who are indigenous is concerned, we need to keep it in our mind. See, the the scheduled tribes or the tribes in India are not homogeneous, are not same. A tribe from Jharkhand and a tribe from Nagaland does not bear the same category. Because in Northeast, we do not identify ourselves as Adivasi. We used to identify ourselves as our ethnic identity. So we are Boros, so we are Karbis, so we are Nagas. We used to use our ethnic identity. We do not say the Adivasi. So the term Adivasi itself has been wrongly used in the context of Northeast. So people, they do come from other states and claim here that they are Adivasis. They are not true. They are not Bhumiputras. They are not Adivasis. So the ST status, the tribe status is not homogeneous in India. And the indigeneity, if you have to prove who has come first or who has come last, it will not depend on that particular phrase. Because indigeneity as a political history is more profitable than the historical one. Politicians used to take benefit of this, political identifications of indigenous people. And the last, and I request, it is always indigenous people. It is not indigenous communities. My friends, you need to understand we have to introduce ourselves as indigenous people. Because if you say indigenous communities, in the UN Charter it has been stated and UN the indigenous people. Now, if I'm an indigenous community, even an indigenous community, government would try to, you know, differentiate us between the, whatever one welfare has been given to you and what welfare has been given to us. So if we fight, if we stay as indigenous communities, we will not be able to achieve what we wanted to. We need to stay united as indigenous people. Thank you.